Hi everyone, this video is by popular demand and it baffles me how people with sophisticated gadget, churches, event centers, corporate bodies having sophisticated systems but they don't optimize. Like I always say, anytime I appeared before you, I will always preach about optimization of system. When you buy a system for $1 million, it's actually serving you that way. So I'm going to talk about few things that we don't really get right at all time. Now, remember, I've been to several places. I've seen things in my life. It seems not just to get things done properly. There was this church that acquired drums of over 2 million naira, but yet the drum kit on it is less than 100,000. Not even talk about the value of the drum kit. They got, like, let's say 7-piece drum set, but they ended up miking just 5. So, and at the end of the day, you have so much stress at the engineering side of mixing. Remember now, it is better you have systems sounding well acoustically, and is also represented electronically with application of several microphone types, selections, and pull-out pattern, and the choice of placement, really. So now, it is not really wise to have this stuff and you are only miking kick, snare drum, and maybe floor tom. You might not really get it right. So in case you haven't watched my previous video that I talked about using almost like 10 microphones on drums, please, I advise that you go back to my YouTube page and watch that. It's actually for your benefit. It's good to get those sound naturally so that you don't do less, you don't do much, you don't do so much on your console. Secondly, it is not also right having a montage, for instance, and you end up using just one cable connecting. Remember, these systems are sampled from a lot of synthesis. We have a lot of sound that are sampled in that, so they have worked out EQ, compression, reverb, room shape, and all that parameters. They've done that, and that's also what constitutes the sound you are hearing. For instance, whenever you dial in, we call up piano, grand piano, you discover when you strike it, you'll be getting some ambience, room ambience. Why? Because they've already sampled some default room reverb. It can be hall, it can be any type of reverb for you. So those things will make sense. That grand piano will really make sense if you capture it as left and right. Now, I'm going to play something from one old school. I guess they've not given birth to me that time. Okay, let's do this.
My great Redeemer's praise.
right, so this cannot really make more sense when you capture this keyboard on mono. It's also not proper when you are having a 32 channel mixing console and you're only using like 15 to 16. And when the engineer is being asked, why are you not using everything? They say it's because they only have drums and keyboard and maybe 2 vocals. But trust me, if you're only having drums and keyboard and maybe 3 vocals, you might end up using close to 32, yes. It's all about changing your orientation on proper miking. If you buy your drums very expensive and yet you only choose to mic kick and snare, you're not really getting the best of it. So a normal 5-piece drum should at least have 10 microphones. Should at least have 10 microphones with various sounds captured into your mixing console. As such, you really not need to do so much. Why? Because the sound coming into your board is clean. Again, if you are having just one keyboard, you can choose to have 2 channels, and that's already 12. The room where you are doing sound, you can have several mics. And again, that is one thing that I see so many churches ignoring. What happened to the excitement of your audience? Whenever pastor is preaching, whenever somebody is worshiping God and people are crying, are just lost in that atmosphere, that realm, you need to capture it. So some will just leave the vocal microphones to capture. That will not really do anything, because what is really going into these systems are treated. If it goes through vocal mics, there are some things that are really altered. So that's why it's really nice to put several microphones in your auditorium. Whether your auditorium is highly reflective with so much reverberations, please do, because the microphones really capture, like I said previously, it captured the excitement of audience. It captured their applause. Anytime they scream, it captures that. And at the same time, it also captures the room sound, the room response, which is very nice. Now, if you don't use audience mic, your sound will become like you recorded it in a studio where everything is just dead, acoustically dead. When I say dead, it means absence of reflections, which is natural. At the end of the day, the engineer might resort to the use of artificial reverb, artificial room sound. And that one also has its strengths and limitations. It has its advantages and disadvantages. So you are advised to use as much mic as you can afford. So that defines your sound. Why all this detail? Because virtually the whole world is watching you, is watching your content. And trust me, there are a lot of competitions in the internet space, with billions of videos released every day. And so we will always want to shuffle the internet to check anyone that catch our attention first. Is what you will have to pay attention and watch. So first impression is what you need to create with good sound and visuals. So please, this season, with the present economy situation, it is wisdom that should teach you how to optimize your system, how to maximize the operation. Okay, imagine having this mix again, and that's where I'm doing all this recording. I'm playing back from my laptop also, and the keyboard is also connected to it. So that's it.